What's going on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for another Manchester City transfer update. Remember, rolling out daily Manchester City transfer updates throughout all of the summer transfer window to keep you guys up to date every single day with all the latest Manchester City transfer news on YouTube. So if you are new around here, do subscribe to my channel. Now less than 120 subs away from my goal of 30,000 subscribers, so any help towards that would be great. Also, don't forget as well, social media links, they're in the description below and sliding across at the bottom of the screen if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter and Instagram. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships or any videos or any general business inquiries. TikTok link also in the description if you want to go and follow me on there. Leave a thumbs up. 300 likes once more is the like goal. Great that we hit it on the last video. Can we hit it on this? That would be brilliant. Also, don't forget as well, most importantly, do let me know your thoughts in the comments below, as I'm always interested in what you do have to say with regards to these transfers. So let's crack on with this video. We've got an update on Kyle Walker, and the Evening Standard have said Bayern Munich, they're continuing their push to try and sign Kyle Walker from Manchester City. Pep Guardiola has given his clearance for Manchester City to work on and try and get Kyle Walker on a new deal. The longer this goes on, I would say, the better this is for Manchester City. The longer this goes on, Bayern Munich will start to look towards other alternatives. They're not going to wait forever and ever for Kyle Walker to make a decision. So this is a patient game here, and I would say the more that Bayern Munich just slowly slip away from Kyle Walker, that's when, if I was Manchester City, I'd be pushing hardest to try and get Walker on a new deal. He's now got less than 12 months left on his Manchester City contract, so Manchester City need to be pushing hard to get Walker on a new deal, because if we don't, he could well leave for free next summer. He could continue Man City's conveyor belt of losing a fantastic player for free every single season for the last, 8 seasons or so. We don't want that to be the case with Kyle Walker. I still think he's got a good 2 or 3 years left at the top of his game, which is why Bayern Munich wanted to give him a 2 or 3 year deal, because that is how good Kyle Walker can be. So if I'm Manchester City, if Bayern can start cooling their interest the longer this window goes on, I'd be pushing hard to try and get Walker on a new deal. I imagine City's plan will be what we were offering Gundogan, a 12-month extension, so a contract till 2025, potentially with some kind of clause in there that he could have the potential of adding an additional 12 months on that, so it could be a deal till 2025 and a possible 2026. We'll have to wait and see with what City are working on, but hopefully, fingers crossed, we can get it done. It's very similar this to the situation we had, was it last summer or the summer before, I can't remember when it was, with Riyad Mahrez. He was getting linked with the exit door, and then all of a sudden City were working on a new deal. He wanted 3 years. He said, I can leave here and offer. Kyle Walker could do that with Man City and say, look, Bayern Munich are offering me a 3 year deal. I'll go there if you're not going to give me a 3 year deal. And Man City then face a situation of either get him signed up, give him 3 years, or he leaves Manchester City, which to me would be a bit of a disaster. Anyway, moving on to the final story of the out, Ilkay Gundogan. This is going to be the last ever time that I speak about Ilkay Gundogan being a Manchester City player, and that makes me sad, because today is his official last day contracted as a Manchester City player. His contract will expire with Manchester City at 11:59 PM BST today, so less than 12 hours of Gundogan being a Manchester City player. At midnight, he will officially become a Barcelona player, signing for them on a 2 year deal with the option of a third. Already said this before, but I'll say it again, wishing Ilkay the very best of luck on his move to Spain, and also at Barcelona as well. And if we do come across Ilkay Gundogan, if we ever play Barcelona whilst he was there, I will be the first to applaud him for his services that he's given to Manchester City. So Ilkay Gundogan, that chapter closes, but speaking about the future, moves us on to the ins, and we've got an update on Joško Gvardiol. Now, I am expecting Man City's next senior first-team player to be added to our men's squad to be Joško Gvardiol. City lining up an £85 million move as per The Sun. Manchester City are still negotiating that fee with RB Leipzig. Leipzig will not move on their €100 million valuation of Joško Gvardiol. They want him to be the most expensive centre-back ever, and Josko Gvardiol, with him joining Manchester City, if he does end up joining us, this is going to have no ramifications on the Manchester City squad, in particular João Cancelo and Aymeric Laporte. These players don't need to leave Man City for Josko Gvardiol to come in. However, if Gvardiol does come in, it frees up space then for them to leave, as Manchester City will no longer need Cancelo, will no longer need Laporte, and they're free then to pursue a move away. And what I suspect may happen is we may see one of these players maybe leave before Gvardiol comes in. What I think will happen is I think Gvardiol will come into Manchester City, and then City will be pushing hard for the sale of Cancelo and Gvardiol. I think the longer this goes on into the window, I wouldn't rule out either of these players potentially being loaned out, which I wouldn't be against as long as there is an obligation, not an option, an obligation to buy. So Barcelona, I know, have been interested in Cancelo. I've heard their name being mentioned for Laporte. I've got no problem with that. If they want to loan him, they can loan him, as long as there's an obligation for money to be paid to Manchester City. I suspect whatever we pay for Gvardiol, though, is what we'll be looking to make back in our net spend with both the sale of Cancelo and Laporte. I wouldn't rule out Cancelo and Laporte potentially being sold to Premier League teams to try and make some money back. I know Aston Villa have been interested in Laporte. I know Arsenal have been interested in João Cancelo as well. So if the offer is right, I think Man City would be open to selling these players. I think Aston Villa is more interesting because Aston Villa aren't right now seen as a title threat. They're not seen as a European threat to Manchester City. Arsenal are, adding quality to their squad as well with Declan Rice. They're getting better. So Man City will be taking that very seriously. So I don't see us selling any player to Arsenal, but teams outside of Europe, teams outside of the Champions League, I wouldn't rule out maybe being a little bit of wiggle room when it comes to the sale, in particular of first team players, if we are struggling to get offers and we do get the right offer in for either one of Cancelo or Laporte. We'll have to wait and see, but I suspect that both Cancelo and Laporte leaving isn't going to have any ramifications on Josko Gvardiol. City still working on that. This is going to take time for us to agree a fee. There isn't a release clause. We're not the best negotiators when it comes to haggling with fees. Man City tend to just have, this is the money we're willing to pay for a player. Are you happy with that? If not, Man City do tend to walk away. But I don't think an agreement is a million miles away. We'll see. Patient game. Gvardiol doesn't help on holiday. Is he going to force for a move to Manchester City? We'll have to wait and see. As I always say, the summer is long. Anything can happen. I imagine City, in the meantime, will continue to push on with their transfer plans to try and make the Gvardiol transfer happen. If not, I imagine Man City will be drawing up contingency lists as well. But my expectation right now is Josko Gvardiol. At some point, City will find that agreement in a fee. Personal terms aren't going to be a problem, and Josko Gvardiol could well become Man City's second summer signing of this window. So there we go. That's been the very latest. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy this video, leave a thumbs up. 300 likes is the aim. Subscribe as well if you're new around here. Press that red button, press the bell, and put your push notifications on. Going to be doing daily Manchester City transfer updates throughout all of the summer transfer window for you guys to enjoy. So if you want to stay up to date on YouTube with all the latest Manchester City transfer news, then do subscribe to my channel. Also, don't forget as well, social media links. They're in the description below and slide across at the bottom of the screen if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter and Instagram. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. TikTok link also in the description too if you want to go and follow me on there. Finally, let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll see you all again tomorrow for the next daily Manchester City transfer update. So I've been JSGC. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope everyone is safe and well. Peace. Ciao for now.